Hello students, welcome to class 8. In our last few video lectures, we have completed your English literature topics. Today we are gonna again start with English language or English 1, the grammar part from your Collins English Grammar and Composition textbook. In the very beginning, in first and 2 of your lecture, we have studied the grammar topics like nouns and the pronoun. Today we are gonna begin with verbs. So before proceeding with the verbs, with the topic verbs, let us first recapitulate the noun and the pronoun and its kinds. So noun is a name of a person, place, animals, things or objects. Like for example, Rahul is a name of a boy, so Rahul becomes a noun. Mumbai is a name of a city, so Mumbai becomes a name of a place. Tiger is a name of an animal, so tiger becomes an animal. It is a noun. Tiger becomes a noun. We study on the study table, so study table is a noun. Likewise, we have different kinds of noun. We have also studied different kinds of noun that are proper noun, common noun, collective noun, possessive noun, countable and uncountable nouns, compound, abstract, material and concrete nouns. Moving further, we have also studied the second chapter of your Collins English Grammar and Composition textbook, that is pronoun. So what is a pronoun? Pronoun is a word that is used in place of a noun. Pronoun is a word that is used in place of a noun. So what are the kinds of pronoun? Personal pronoun, possessive pronoun, reflexive pronoun, emphatic pronoun, interrogative pronoun, relative pronoun, demonstrative pronoun, distributive pronoun and indefinite pronoun. So what is a pronoun? Pronoun is a word that is used in place of a noun to avoid the repetition of noun in a given sentence or in a given speech. Now moving on further with the topic, that is verb. So what are verbs? Verbs are words that show an action, occurrence or state of being or existence. In simple word, verb is an action word. Verb is a word that does the action. So almost every sentence requires a verb, and the basic form of a verb is known as its infinitive. Verb has also the kinds of different forms. We will see it in the later part of this video session. So let us proceed with the verbs, that is chapter 6 given in your Collins English and English Grammar and Composition textbook, but I am explaining you this verb chapter before because it is going to come in your first unit as examination. So let us proceed with verb. Before I have already explained you the meaning of verb, that verb is an action word. So before proceeding with the detailed explanation of verbs, let us do some exercise. So what is given here? Identify the verbs in these sentences. Then add the verb who or what and underline the nouns or pronouns your responses point to. It means what we have to do, we first have to identify the verb and then we have to identify or underline the noun or the pronoun which is connected with that verb or which is being added further or proceeded further with that verb. Let us see the first example. You need to identify the verb and then you need to underline the noun or the pronoun on which the verb has given the response. So see the first example. My vet or veterinarian treated the injured cat I brought to his clinic. So here we see my vet or my vet doctor or my animal doctor treated the injured cat. What he did, what kind of action this doctor did or this vet did? He treated whom? The injured cat. So here treated will become the verb of the sentence. So we have identified this treated as verb in the sentence because it is an action verb. Treating is what? An action verb. and on whom the action has been done. This action of treating has been done. So on cat, on the injured cat, this action has been done. So that's why treated will become the action word and cat will become the noun of the sentence, because on the cat the response of this verb has been done. Cat is the receiver of the action, treatment. That's why cat will become the noun and treated will become the object. Let us see the second sentence. My brother lent me his watercolor set. Here the action is lent. Lending something. When we lend money or when we lend something to someone, that is called as the lending. So here lent is an action word, and to whom the watercolor set has been lent? To me. So me will become the pronoun or will become the receiver of this action, lent. So we see that lent is a verb in this sentence and me will become the pronoun or will become the object of the sentence on whom the action has been done. And what do we receive or what do I receive? The watercolor set. So the watercolor set is also an object which is a noun in the sentence. The object noun. The watercolor set is an object noun and me is a object pronoun. Let us see the next example. The man donated money to the families of the firefighters. Here the man is the subject of the sentence. He is doing the action of donating money. So donated will become the verb. To whom he donated? To the families of the firefighters. So the families of the firefighters is the object of the sentence or the noun of the sentence. And money is also the noun of the sentence, because this is the direct, money is the direct noun and families is the indirect noun, because we have answered the question, the man donated what? We have answered the question what? Money. We got the answer money. That's why it is the direct noun of the sentence, the direct object of the sentence on whom the action of donating has been directly done. And families is the indirect object of the sentence. That's why a family is the object noun of the sentence. Next, Rita played songs on her new MP3 player. So playing is an action. So played becomes the verb, and song is on which the action has been done. So this is song on which the action has been done. So songs become the object or the noun, object noun of the sentence. Next, the weightlifter lifted the weights effortlessly. We are talking about the subject, the weightlifter, who is doing the action of lifting. So lifted will become the verb, and weights, what is he lifting? Weights. Weights will become the noun, object noun of the sentence. Moving further, the detailed explanation of the verb. Let us see. You know that verbs denote action performed in a sentence. We know very well that verb is an action word, verb is a word that does the thing of action in a sentence. Let us see the example again. The cat chased the mouse all around the room. The cat chased the mouse all around the room. Here chased is an action verb. The cat is the subject of the sentence and chase is the action verb. The cat is doing the action of chasing, and whom the action has been done? On the mouse. Let us see the kinds of verbs. The way we have the kinds of nouns and the way we have the kinds of pronoun, in the same manner we have the kinds of verb. So we will see here two kinds of verb, the transitive verb and the intransitive verb. Okay, so the verbs can be classified as transitive verb and the intransitive verb. Let us see what are transitive verbs. So transitive verbs are verbs which require an object to complete the meaning. See, in the previous sentence when I was explaining you what is the meaning of verb in this sentence, the cat chased the mouse all around the room. In this sentence we have seen the cat is the subject of the sentence, chase is the verb of the sentence, and the mouse is the object of the sentence. Let me give you what is the subject and what is the verb and what is an object. So the subject is the one who does the action. In a sentence, the subject is the one from whom the action begins. So the subject is the doer of the action. Here in this sentence we have seen the cat is the subject of the sentence. Why the cat is the subject of the sentence? Because this cat is doing the action of chasing. Because chase here in this sentence is the action word. It is an action word or it is a verb. So this cat is doing the action of chasing. But this action has been done on whom? Who is the receiver of this action in this particular sentence? So the mouse is the receiver of the action. The action of chasing has been done on the mouse. That's why it is the receiver. The mouse is the receiver of the action, and that's why the mouse becomes the object of the sentence. So we see when in a sentence if we have the pattern of subject plus verb plus object, it will become the transitive verb. So in this sentence, in the previous sentence that we see, the cat chased the mouse all around the room. We have seen the cat is the subject, we have seen the chase is the verb, and we have seen that the mouse is the object of the sentence. We have got the formula subject plus verb plus object. So that's why these previous sentence has become what? The transitive verb or the transitive sentence. Here chase has become the transitive verb of the sentence. Let us see the further example. The next example is Virat Kohli plays cricket. Here we have the subject Virat Kohli because he is doing the action of playing. So what is the subject? Subject is the doer of the action. That's why Virat Kohli is the subject of the sentence, because he does the action of playing. And play is an action word. Plays become the action word. So play is a verb in a sentence. What kind of action does Virat Kohli doing? So he is doing the action of playing cricket. So what is the object over here? Cricket. On whom the action of playing has been done? On the cricket. What sort of action has been done? Or what kind of object do we have? Cricket. So that's why we have got this formula or this pattern in this sentence. Subject, that is Virat Kohli, verb, that is plays, and object, that is cricket. That's why this will become the transitive verb. See the next sentence. I gave him a gift. Here in this particular sentence we got the subject as I, because I am doing the action of giving. I did the action of giving something. So I becomes the subject, verb becomes gave. And we see in the sentence that there are two objects. One is him and the other one is a gift. In the previous sentence, Virat Kohli plays cricket. In this sentence we have got just one object, that is cricket, and that object has been called as the direct object. Why it is a direct object? Let's see. Virat Kohli plays what? Virat Kohli plays cricket. That's why cricket is the direct object, because we have got the answer to the question what. Whenever we receive the answer of what in a sentence, then it will be called as a direct object. So let us see the next example, that what kind of objects have we received. So here we have I gave him a gift. One object is him and the other object is a gift. Let us see which is the direct and which is the indirect object in this sentence. We see that I gave him a gift. I gave him what? So we have received the answer a gift. For the question what, we have received the answer a gift. That's why a gift will become the direct object. Whenever we are receiving the answer of what, of this question what, what, when we receive the answer for this what, it will become the direct object sentence. And whenever in a sentence we will receive the object, the question of the object as to whom, that will become the indirect object. Likewise, in this sentence we see, I gave a gift to whom. So I gave a gift to him. So him will become the indirect object of the sentence. So what we understood in transitive verb, how can we identify the verb is a transitive verb? In both of this sentence we have got the verb plays and gave. Okay, so this plays and gave is a are transitive verbs. How? Because we have got the object in these both sentences. In the previous sentence we have got the object as cricket, and in the next sentence we have got the object as him as well as a gift. So in both of these sentences we have got the object, we have got this pattern, we have got this formula, subject plus verb plus object. That's why in both of these sentences the verbs are the transitive verbs. Okay, so whenever we have this formula, subject plus verb plus object, the object is the important thing in a sentence. If we have this object in the objects, whether it is direct object or an indirect object, whenever we have this in the sentence or which is preceded by the verb, that means the verb is a transitive verb. So what we understood here, the subject is the doer of the action or who does the action, the verb is an action verb, and the object is the receiver of the action. And this object can be direct or this object can be indirect. And whenever we will have this pattern, subject plus verb plus object, then this sentence will be called as, or that verb will be called as the transitive verb. Moving on to the another kind of the sentence. See, we have more explanation of transitive verbs. Transitive verb can have two types of object, direct and indirect, which I have already explained you. The direct object answers the question what in relation to the verb, and the indirect object answers the question to or for whom in relation to the verb. See one more example, like Ratin gave Palak a pen. Here we have Ratin as a subject. When we ask the question, Ratin gave what? Ratin is the subject, gave is the verb. Now we will see, or we will ask the question, Ratin gave what? So the answer is pen. Ratin gave pen. So pen will become the direct object. And when we ask the question, Ratin gave a pen to whom? So the answer we will receive is that Ratin gave the pen to Palak. So Palak will become the indirect object of the given sentence. Let us see the another kind of verb, that is intransitive verb. In intransitive verb, we will just see that there is this pattern or this formula, subject plus verb plus objective, but we will not see the object in the sentence. So whenever we don't find the object in the sentence, then the particular sentence or the particular verb in the sentence will become the intransitive verb. Let us see how. Here we see, the actor appeared exhausted. The actor is the doer of the action, that is appeared. So actor becomes the subject and the action is appeared. Do we find any object over here? The actor appeared what? Exhausted? No. We are not receiving the answer of what here. We are receiving the answer of how. The actor appeared how. So whenever we receive the answer for the questions other than what and whom, other than what and to whom, then the sentence will become, or the verb will become the transitive verb. So here we have just got the adverb or the adjective in the sentence, that is exhausted. So that's why this appeared verb is intransitive verb. Next we have example, subject plus verb plus adjective or adverb. So here in the next sentence, the cake tasted salty. In this sentence we see the subject is the cake And how it tasted? It tasted salty. We are describing the cake is salty, or we are describing the action of tasting has been done on the cake, and it tasted salty. That's why there is no object in the sentence, and this sentence or this verb tasted becomes intransitive verb. So what we understood, children, that transitive verbs are the verbs which require an object to complete the meaning in a sentence or to complete the meaning of the verb, while intransitive verbs are verbs which do not require an object to complete the meaning, like we have seen it in the example. The actor appeared exhausted. It doesn't, this particular sentence didn't require what? An object. That's why this sentence has become, or this appeared verb in a sentence becomes the intransitive verb. Now let us do some exercises. What you have to do in this exercise, you have to underline the verbs. We very well know the meaning of the verb, that verb is an action word. So what you have to do here, you have to underline the verb in the sentence, and then we have to identify whether that underlined word or verb is transitive or intransitive. Then after doing that, we also need to identify the objects of the transitive verb and write if they are direct object and the indirect object. So what first we have to do, we have to identify the verb. We have to identify that verb as a transitive or an intransitive. If we identify that verb as transitive, then we have to identify that the object which are used in the sentence are direct object or indirect objects. Let us do the first exercise, the first example. The hungry baby has been crying since morning. Here we have got the question or the example. The hungry baby has been crying since morning. The hungry baby is the subject of the sentence. Has been crying. The hungry baby is doing the action of crying since morning. So the action is crying. The action word is crying. The verb in the sentence is crying. So we have got this, hungry baby is crying. But on whom the action has been done? Do we find any kind of object in this sentence? No, we haven't have any object in this sentence. So this particular sentence or this particular verb, that is crying, will become an intransitive verb. What is an intransitive verb? An intransitive verb is a verb which doesn't require require an action. So that is called, which doesn't require an answer or object in the sentence. So that's why that verb will be called as the intransitive verb. So we see the hungry baby has been crying. Has been crying, this sentence will become intransitive verb. Then the next sentence, the tailor embroidered the dress with ornamental designs. Now we have the subject in this sentence as the tailor. The subject of the sentence is the tailor because he is doing the action of embroidering. He is doing the action of embroidery. So embroidered will become the action word, that is a verb. And what does the tailor embroider? What did he embroider? He embroidered the dress. So yes, we got the object in this sentence, the dress. So that's why this particular sentence will become the transitive verb. The tailor embroidered the dress. The dress will become the direct object. See children, we in the beginning of this exercise only, I have explained you that first we need to identify the verb from the given sentence, and then we have to identify it as a transitive or intransitive verb. If we have identified that particular verb as transitive, so we have to identify whatever the object which has been given in the sentence, we have to identify that object as a direct or indirect object. So in this particular second sentence, we have got embroider as a verb. That is a transitive verb because it has the object in the sentence. It has the object because the action of embroidery has been done on the dress. So we have got this Dress is an object in the sentence. As the action has been done directly on the dress, that's why dress will become the direct object in the sentence. Next example, the puppy slept in the cot next to their mother. Here we have the subject as puppies and slept as verb. Where they slept, in the cot next to their mother. In this particular sentence, we are answering the question where they slept, where the puppy slept. So they slept in the cot. We are not getting the answer of what or on whom or to whom. We are just getting the answer of the place. We are getting the answer through the prepositional question, that is where. That's why this particular sentence will again, or this particular verb which is slept, will again become intransitive verb. Next example, my mother proudly displayed my sister's trophy in the living room. Here we have got the subject as mother. Displayed, how she displayed it proudly, so displayed will become the verb, because the mother is doing the action of displaying. What did she display? So this mother displayed the trophy, so trophy will become the object. Where does she display? In the living room. Okay, in the living room will not be an object, because this living room has started with the preposition in. That's why living room is not an object. But here we have got the trophy as an object. But which kind of object it is? It is the direct object, because on the trophy the action of displaying has been done directly by whom? By the mother. Next question. Next example, we offered fruits to the ailing woman. Here we is the subject of the sentence, offered is the verb of the sentence, and we offered what? So we got the answer fruit. So fruits will become the direct object of the sentence, because we have got the answer what. Next we have we offered fruits to whom? We offered fruits to whom? So we are getting the answer of the question to whom. The answer is woman. We have offered the fruits to the ailing woman. So woman will become the indirect object of the sentence. So I hope, children, you have understood the meaning of the transitive verb and the intransitive verb, the direct object and the indirect object. In the next slide, I have given you the homeworks, the next 5 examples as homework. We will see the answers to this homework in our next video session. So I am ending my topic of transitive of the verbs here itself. We will see the further part of the chapter verbs in the next video session, as well as we will see the answer to this homework. Thank you.